discussion that we're having right now is centered on consumers. Consumers are hostages, and the service providers are telling you in their benevolent way that this is the best internet for you, and we decide. Because consumers don't really have a choice. Because individuals cannot go out and build their own mobile phone and create a whole network in a spectrum that's licensed and build all this infrastructure just so that they can have a mobile device. They also can't build all the infrastructure from their home all the way back to a peering point to build their own internet because they can't. They can't afford to. Consumers are hostages, and they're told, this is the quality of the food that you're going to eat, and you're going to smile, and you're going to pay me for it. Now let's talk about the network operators. Independent network operators, okay, are the winners here. Anyone that has or can secure rights of way and build their own infrastructure, fiber, and light it, can bypass all of this entire discussion. It does not apply to them. And this is not new, okay? I come out of the international wholesale voice world. You ever heard of a white route and a gray route? A leaky PBX? People know what that is. I mean, the old circuit switch TDM voice days are kind of gone. But this all happened already. There used to be days when there was just PTTs and international settlement agreements. And then there was DREG and Carter phone and a lot of other things that happened in the hardware world. And people built routes to bypass the incumbents so that they could basically lower their costs. And bypass took place physically in buildings known as carrier hotels that were born out of the necessity to interconnect around the incumbent and their laws and rules and pricing. And that drove an entire industry of thousands of networks to be born because no one could afford to pay $1 a minute or $2 a minute or whatever. And the bottom dropped out of the whole circuit switch voice world very quickly. It was a race to the bottom. And thank God IP came along and saved the day and made everything flat rate. And then the whole voice world just became an app. And it disappeared. And nobody even tracks it anymore. But the essence of network operators being able to find those common points on planet Earth to put their own equipment and directly connect to other networks was the basis upon which no neutral rules necessarily applied because they could do something about it. Consumers can't. So let's just talk about net neutrality in those two very clear, distinct ways. When a network owns the last mile, whether it's mobile or fixed line, they're the ones that the content providers have to go negotiate with. So I don't care what the net neutrality rules are, and I don't care if the FCC has the authority to enforce them or not. If a Netflix has to go sit at the table and cut a deal directly with Comcast, that supersedes net neutrality rules. And it's a bilateral peering relationship with certain economic terms that are not disclosed publicly. And like Dr. David Reed here just said, now think about the internet. It's a multilateral relationship. Once you're on it, there's a set of rules. And now there's, well, who's paying for what and which side, and basically who can I corner and say, you have to come through me to go to here, so you must make a deal with me. So the multilateral nature of the best efforts internet, which people have come to rely on, all of a sudden becomes the old wholesale circuit switch, got to sit down and do 1,000 bilats with people. And who's got the time for that? Who's got the money for that? So if you're an app developer and you just want to throw your app out on iTunes to get out to the world, you better hope Apple has done all that bilateral relationship stuff already, or else the quality of the delivery of your product to the end user is going to be impacted. And that's something that people never had to think about before.